friends, I have a good one for you today. I got Starchild Jr., the Fitzky brothers, and Henry Stout from Music Masters Collective. And today we are talking about Roots Rock Revival, which is a summer camp in upstate New York in the Catskill Mountains at the end of this month, featuring Oteil Burbridge, North Mississippi All-Stars, and so many other incredible musicians and artists that you'll be able to get to hang with, play with, and learn from. It's important to note, this is not a sponsored video. In fact, Music Masters Collective is a nonprofit which is near and dear to my heart. Not only do they put on some of the best festivals in the country each year, like Jam Cruise and so many others, but these summer camps are so important to me personally because I make a living teaching online. And I will tell you, nothing beats getting together in person. You get to play with these people, you get to form these connections for life, and most importantly to me, you get the vibe of what music is all about. It connects us, right? And so, as a nonprofit, I've actually donated to Music Masters Collective to their scholarship fund so that people who would like to attend this summer camp, who might not be able to afford it, can go. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Henry, Chana, and everybody that put this together. And I hope you enjoy this interview. And if you'd like to attend, the link is in the description. And if you'd like to apply for the scholarship, the link is there as well. Now, here's my interview.
We are the Fitzky brothers. I'm Alex Fitzky.
I'm Drew Fitzky.
Who's older?
He is.
I'm 20.
And what instruments do you play?
I play bass.
I play drums.
You should play bass and drums together.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 18.
No.
And I know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm cousin Garrett.
Yeah.
Uncle
They call me
Garrett.
Starchild or Starchild Jr. if you know who the real Starchild is. I'm the junior. Representing the Funkadelics, man. P-Funk, legacy holder in the business of spreading the funk across the land and teaching lessons of the one.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Oh, and I play guitar and sing from time to time, too.
Just from time to time.
From time to time.
The way I put it is Roots is like, first off, it's this congregation of like a bunch of amazing musicians that you get to learn from.
Yeah.
Especially deeply rooted in like the Allman Brothers field is where it started. You know, Butch Trucks, drummer of the Allman Brothers, started the camp. So it's kind of that Allman Brothers, Grateful Dead. Everybody who knows that stuff is there, and if you're deeply versed into it, you're gonna have a great time there. And it's basically a camp where it's workshops during the day, and then when it gets towards nighttime, there's a different assembly of the instructors perform, and then after that, they send you out to multiple jam spots to jam basically throughout the night. So you get to learn all day. You get to watch them do it correctly, and then you get to try and do it, which is great.
Okay, before I forget, who's coming? Who are the artists there that people can expect to see and play with?
Henry, you would
love to answer that.
Come on, Henry.
Three elements to that. There's the roots of the music, where the music came from, and that just goes all the way back into all different areas when you think about Grateful Dead, Allman Brothers, and even with P-Funk, like that's a whole element. The whole funk came in. P-Funk was an influence, for real. So these guys coming in, and it's Grateful Dead, Allman Brothers, P-Funk, and then all the blues. You got Junior Mac and Ray Ray Holloman. So you go into the whole Sacred Steel world. Then you got more of the Allman Brothers family with Barry Oakley. And then more of the Fitzky brothers generation. Taz, some of these guys came to Roots when they were 10 years old. So Taz is in there. We got the old Nth Power with Nikki Blasky and her posse. It's just amazing, the lineup, and it's all about. Now I'm going to segue back to what you were saying in terms of teaching. It's so much about what Starchild was saying is that bringing the people into the music and the tradition. You could be a great musician or a great athlete and have all kinds of chops or moves, but that doesn't make you a player. And it's having the opportunity to hang in the scene and learn the vibe. And it doesn't make you a professional player by any stretch. You know, you have to understand what that lifestyle is, what that mindset is, and you can't learn that honestly by just studying music. You need to be able to embed in the scene and with the artists that actually live that life. And that's our side of kind of the equation here. And then you add some, you know, a guy like Michael in that can just break this stuff down and make it entirely accessible. And you put the two together, and you're gonna produce killer players.
What is your involvement in this?
So, I am a latecomer to this, but my involvement will be to spread the funk.
Yeah.
Because the world needs more funk. Especially when it comes to a music setting and dealing with musicians, I'm starting to realize that a lot of people are fans of funk and fans of the one, but they don't really have the understanding of the one.
Yeah.
So that's where I come in, and that's my job as the legacy holder.
How hard is it to teach them where it is?
It used to be hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I didn't, it's something I had to learn myself, right?
Yeah.
But the more that I kind of lean into like sitting in with folks and, you know, like appearing with folks and they want to do this music, it ends up turning into workshops, because what I've come to realize is that, you know, even folks that put a lot of effort into learning it, learning our music is a bit intricate because it's so much more feel than it is notation. And everyone's approach is to notate it, you know, so I always end up having to like maybe unlearn and reteach, or, you know, or maybe just teach an entire lesson about how it goes. And and I've kind of been leaning into it. I've kind of been enjoying it, to be honest. So,
dude, I hear you, man. I mean, I'm a teacher. I love teaching. It makes you a better player, you know.
And especially when you got students that are enthusiastic about what you have to teach them,
right?
You know what I mean? And so that's the cool thing about the funk, in particular the P-funk. Is that, you know, no matter what the generation they come from, when they once they experience it, they want more of it, and at some point they want to learn how to do it. So, so I have a good time in that regards once I get to do that, because then I get to revert lessons that I got from the OGs. And
I love that so much. So if I or you or anybody out there watching attends camp like this, we'll be able to work on this stuff.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
So we'll come with a set of tunes, like, and it'll be like, okay, today we're doing Flashlight. Today we're doing whatever.
That's right. You want to learn your P-funk tunes? Bring them on.
See, I would. Me personally, I would go just for that.
See, that's what I didn't realize until about a year ago, is how much people really wanted to learn this stuff.
It's huge.
Because other than that, when I would find myself in these situations and I'm like, okay, I got to show y'all how to do it. And it's like, this is not what they signed up for. It's a difficult thing trying to teach folks when they either think they have it or they just have no interest. But lately, I've been kind of just finding myself in a lot more environments with, especially a lot of younger musicians who are like really fans. And they're like, teach us how that goes. Please teach us how to do that. I'm like, okay, I can do that. You know, it's nothing for me. You want to learn how to do this?
I want to go just to do that.
Well, come on.
I will.
I think it's also beneficial too for a lot of the next generation to even learn and understand the fellowship of it.
Totally.
Because these days, simply because technology, the fellowship is starting to kind of wane a little bit. I was actually having a discussion with another musician friend of mine yesterday, so it's funny that that's kind of coming up in that way. But yeah, the fellowship is important too. Learning how to, you know, to jam together, essentially. You know, because I think, to me, I think that kind of stuff is even more vital than trying to learn professionalism and trying to learn how to be on tour and trying to learn these things. I think the most important thing is the fellowship, you know, because that's where a lot of these genuine...
the hang.
Exactly, the hang.
The hang is 90%.
Exactly, man.
Can I speak on the fellowship section real quick?
The floor is yours, my friend.
So, I remember a very specific moment at the start of Roots Rock Revival last year. Everybody was, you know, there's a moment where you get to the camp and you get out of your car and you see people that you haven't seen all year since the last Roots. And I walked over to Oteil and I gave him a big hug, and he said, it's just like the scene in Harry Potter where everybody comes back to Hogwarts.
Yeah,
So I always associate Roots Rock Revival with Hogwarts.
I love
Because
that.
that's what it is. You find so many people that have the same experience that you do, that are on
keep
the
coming
same
back.
wavelength, and you realize that it's not just you.
Yeah.
Like, when I first came to Roots, I didn't really have a sense of direction for what I was doing, and we talk about saving lives. Like, that completely corrected the course that I was on and changed my life.
Yeah.
I found a new kind of music that was based not in playing but in listening,
Thank you.
and is you can express exactly how you're feeling without saying it. You
Right.
get it through what you're playing, but there's these moments where you're trying to discover something new, and you're not trying to replicate a record. It's about the search of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's different. Roots is about the history of American music, coming from jazz into blues, and then how that morphs into funk and soul and R&B. And like, that was the biggest thing with Oteil. Like, he would go back and just talk about all of his influences. So like Colonel Bruce Hampton, P-Funk, he would talk about that a lot. And bringing Thurt and all you guys in is so wonderful, because you've got the source,
Yeah.
Like, we tour with Melody Trucks, who is Butch's daughter, and her brother Vaylor and her have just like spoken the good word of the Allman Brothers for so long, and like that in particular has changed my life.
And outside of it, like touring with her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She runs this program called Road to Roots.
Yes, tell us.
That we're part of the pilot for.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But she's taking like senior counselors. I guess senior counselors, but like
I didn't know that was
senior
a thing.
counselors is such a funny thing to say.
We gotta go with something cooler. The next generation actually is what it is.
Yeah, and she takes us. We're talking about that professionalism thing. She takes you out on the road and teaches you how to tour,
Yeah.
like how to interact with the sound guy.
See, I love this.
How to act in the green room.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go into someone's
Never
green
leave trash
room
in
and
the
take
green
their
room.
beer or anything like that. Like,
That's very.
it's about the music before the party and everything
Yeah.
else. The
Yeah.
music is the party,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
party isn't the music.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, and we've been doing it with her for so long at this point that we're basically her band, and she keeps bringing other people.
well, she
but
tried us out as the Road to Roots project and took us on the road, and we're so blessed, fortunate, and honored that she enjoyed having us on the road so much that she decided to make us her permanent band.
yeah, that's
I love that.
That's the thing with the Roots, because that happened after our first. That happened after our first year.
Yeah.
So we showed up to Roots, and we were like, okay. And we were trying to find our way through this camp, and it was
Didn't know
really
anything.
funny because we didn't know anything. We didn't know like most of the Brothers' music, most of the Grateful Dead stuff, and the funny part was we didn't know who most of the counselors were either. So we'd go up.
We were
and,
punk kids. We played like Blink-182
Yeah.
and Green Day,
and we would
Metallica.
go up and talk.
But that emotion is still there. Like that sort of feeling is kind of what we do in our band. Is like we try to blend that intent with the other intent. And so
We would go up to the counselors and talk to them, and everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you're just talking to Oteil. You're talking." I'm like, "I heard he's good at bass." Like we just didn't know all these people, and we learned so much just by treating them as like people.
Yeah.
Because everyone was asking to be like, "What's John Mayer like?" But like, dude, he's there to like throw all this knowledge at you, and we just absorbed it. And then Mel saw us playing and was like, she decided to take us on the road. And ever since our first year Roots, the amount of opportunities and like learning and mentorship that we've gotten.
Absolutely.
I got to know like
it's a
almost
family
every
thing.
Allman Brothers song now because of that, and we've just like been thrown into it. I'm such a better player with this camp because of it. Listening
It
wise.
fills up your soul.
Yeah.
Well, the listening is
sure.
the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I love all of this. So you learn the music, you
Yeah.
learn the hang, right?
Mhm.
And you get lifelong friends you come back and you see every year, right?
It's a family.
It is. Have breakfast with them. You
Yeah.
can sit down and ask them at any time.
Yeah.
And Oteil loves that. That's his favorite part about this thing. He's like, I get to just bestow knowledge casually at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you can go up to anybody that you want and say, "Hey, can we get together later? I just have some things that I want to work on and ask you about." And they'll be like, "Sure." Like I've worked with. I bought a 6-string bass to work with Oteil because he was like, "It's all tuned in fourths. These are the way that the chord shapes work, and it's really hard for you to visualize if you don't have one. Like I'd lend you one, but I don't really have any right now." And I was like, "Okay, well I'll get one for next year."
Yeah, I'll buy one and I'll be back.
That's what I did.
Yeah. And he's like, I got one, and then you had your own scheduled aside list because of it.
And you grow so much from like everything that you learn at Roots. Like, if it wasn't for Roots Rock Revival, I don't think that I'd know who Colonel Bruce Hampton is, and that's a crime.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Okay, so let's talk about attending here. I know that there are lots of packages. You have cabins up there. It's a whole resort up in the Catskills. But there's also a lot of people that would like to learn this stuff, that would like to get down on the vibe, that can't afford it. So I know that you guys offer scholarships as well. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
So if you go to the Roots Rock Revival website, and there will be a link in the description, there are places for you to actually apply for a scholarship.
Yes.
And then you can also, if you just want to donate and support, you can donate so that people who can't afford, who apply for these scholarships, can attend. And then Garrett, I know you also have your own foundation, and you're bringing some of those people along too.
Yes. So I have a group of kids from Philadelphia, and we have been doing. Had been more of a recording kind of boot camp.
Yeah.
But I call it the Funk Army Boot Camp.
I love this.
Yeah, and they're really talented kids,
Yeah.
really dope. They're like fast, they write good on the spot, they improv very well. They're like really dope. And I'm trying to bring them up so that we can kind of do like maybe a display. And I also want them to get the experience of the whole thing as well. So that's part of the scholarship donation will be going towards, will be a contribution towards getting these Philadelphia kids to the program to go show off their thing.
Love it.
Yeah. And for me to expose them to some little thing, something a little deeper than what they've been doing in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope to see you guys up there. I, for one, will be making a donation on behalf of Guitargate to hopefully send one of you up there to join us up at Roots Rock Revival. If you're interested, again, you can click the link in the description. You can buy a package. You can donate if you would like, and you can apply for a scholarship. This is really exciting. I'm so glad that you guys took this time out of all your touring and everything else that you're doing to come up here to rural Maryland to talk about this. But again, bringing together the artists, the educators, the people that are in this community just to hang and play the music we love that changed our lives is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Thanks for having us.
I really appreciate you all.
For sure.
And thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to click the link in the description.